For decades, the NBA big man operated primarily from the post, a foundational element of offensive and defensive schemes. Yet, the league's strategic landscape has profoundly shifted. Today, a new archetype has emerged, the pivot player. This designation extends beyond traditional positional labels, encompassing players who, through their unique skill sets, become the central axis around which their team's entire strategy revolves. This documentary investigates these influential figures, scrutinizing their impact through a blend of statistical analysis and expert observations. What precisely constitutes a pivot player in today's NBA? It's more than just height or position. According to analysts at The Athletic, a pivot player is someone who facilitates offense, anchors defense, or creates mismatches, forcing opponents to adjust their entire approach. Their influence extends beyond individual statistics, permeating team dynamics. This nuanced definition allows us to consider a broader range of talent than just traditional centers, including versatile power forwards whose contributions dictate the flow of the game. To construct our list, we've rigorously examined a range of criteria. Primary consideration was given to impact on team success, as evidenced by advanced statistical metrics from sources like Basketball Reference and synergy data from various sports analytics firms. We've also weighed individual accolades, such as MVP awards and All-NBA selections, which reflect peer and media recognition. Furthermore, expert commentary from long-standing NBA journalists and scouts provided qualitative insights into player roles, defensive versatility, and offensive orchestration, ensuring a comprehensive assessment. Beginning our countdown at number 10 is Alperen Sengun of the Houston Rockets. Often drawing comparisons to Nikola Jokic for his exceptional passing and postplay, Sengun has quickly become a pivotal offensive hub. Basketball Reference highlights his impressive assist numbers for a big man, indicating his role as a primary playmaker. While his defensive presence and athleticism against elite bigs are still developing, his offensive versatility and vision, particularly from the elbow and low post, are undeniable. His unique skill set is already forcing opponents to rethink their defensive matchups. At number 9, we recognize Brook Lopez, whose late career resurgence has redefined his role as a modern pivot. Lopez anchors the Milwaukee Bucks defense as an elite rim protector, an aspect ESPN analysts frequently laud. Simultaneously, his transformation into a high-volume three-point shooter provides crucial spacing, making him a formidable stretch five. This dual threat of defensive solidity and offensive perimeter prowess, often overlooked, is central to the Bucks' defensive schemes and floor spacing, as detailed by the Ringer's tactical breakdowns. Earning the 8th spot is Rudy Gobert, a three-time Defensive Player of the Year. His impact as an elite rim protector and rebounder is unparalleled, often described by coaches as a defensive system in himself. His presence fundamentally alters opponents' offensive strategies, forcing them away from the paint. While critics, including some on TNT Sports, point to his limited offensive game outside of dunks and putbacks, and occasional struggles guarding on the perimeter, his defensive gravity and ability to anchor a top-tier defense remain statistically significant. At number 7, we have Domantas Sabonis, a critical component of the Sacramento Kings' offensive flow. Sabonis led the league in rebounding in 2023, showcasing his dominance on the glass. More importantly, he's an elite passer for a big man, operating as a crucial secondary playmaker from the high post, a trait often highlighted by NBC Sports Bay Area analysts. While questions persist about his defensive capabilities and athleticism against some of the league's top bigs, his ability to facilitate offense and control the boards makes him indispensable to the Kings' success. The 6th spot goes to Bam Adebayo, a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate for the Miami Heat. Adebayo's defensive versatility is legendary. He can effectively guard all 5 positions, switching onto guards or battling in the post. This adaptability, often praised by coach Erik Spoelstra, allows the Heat to employ diverse defensive schemes. Offensively, he's a capable passer for a big, but his scoring is often seen as a secondary option, lacking a consistent perimeter shot. Nonetheless, his defensive anchor role profoundly dictates Miami's identity. Breaking into our top 5, Anthony Davis remains a dominant force. Crucial to the Lakers' 2020 championship, Davis is an elite defender, rim protector, and shot blocker, with the versatility to guard multiple positions. His offensive game is versatile, capable of scoring inside and out, though ESPN pundits often debate his offensive consistency and leadership role. Unfortunately, injury history has frequently sidelined him, raising questions about sustained availability. Despite these concerns, when healthy, his two-way impact profoundly shaped the Lakers' fortunes. At number 4, we find Victor Wembanyama, a rookie whose immediate impact is unprecedented. Standing 7 feet 4 inches with guard skills, his physical tools are truly generational. As documented by NBA.com, Wembanyama is already an elite shot blocker, reshaping opponents' attacks, and shows flashes of offensive brilliance with his shooting and ball handling. While still adapting to NBA physicality, his potential and current disruptive influence as a rookie are immense. His rapid ascent challenges conventional wisdom on player development and current pivot status. The Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, lands at number 3. A two-time MVP and 2021 Finals MVP, Giannis is an elite athlete, finisher, and defender, described by Sports Illustrated as a freight train in transition. His ability to impact the game on both ends is profound. While his jump shot has improved, it remains a relative weakness. However, his sheer dominance driving to the rim and his defensive prowess make him an undeniable pivot, dictating the pace and physicality of games for the Milwaukee Bucks. Our runner-up is Joel Embiid, the 2023 MVP. Embiid is a dominant scorer, securing 2 scoring titles and an imposing rim protector. His post-up game, mid-range proficiency, and ability to draw free throws make him nearly unstoppable offensively, as noted by Bleacher Report. However, his injury history is a recurring concern, and questions regarding his playoff performance have often been raised by ESPN pundits. Despite these debates, when healthy, Embiid's two-way dominance positions him as a premier pivot, reshaping the 76ers' strategy. Topping our list, and arguably redefining the pivot player, is Nikola Jokic. A two-time MVP in 2021 and 2022, and the 2023 Finals MVP, Jokic is often lauded as the best big man currently playing. His unparalleled playmaking, passing vision, and scoring ability have earned him the moniker Point Center by CBS Sports. Advanced statistics consistently rate him among the league's most impactful players. While debate exists regarding his defensive intensity, his offensive orchestration and rebounding prowess undeniably make him the league's most central strategic piece. A recurring theme among our top pivot players is the evolution of the big man into a primary or secondary playmaker. Nikola Jokic exemplifies this transformation, consistently leading his team in assists. Domantas Sabonis and Alperen Sengun also demonstrate elite passing vision from the post and high elbow, challenging the traditional role of a big man merely setting screens or finishing plays. This shift necessitates complex defensive schemes from opponents, as detailed in tactical breakdowns by Hoops Hype, struggling to contain both scoring and passing threats from the same player. Beyond offensive impact, many of these pivot players are foundational defensive anchors. Rudy Gobert, Bam Adebayo, and Anthony Davis stand out for their rim protection, shot blocking, and defensive versatility. Their ability to deter drives, challenge shots, and switch onto multiple positions dictates how opposing offenses attack. As noted by StatMuse, teams with elite defensive pivots often rank highly in defensive efficiency, underscoring the critical role these players assume in shaping their team's identity and winning culture. The modern pivot player thrives on versatility and adaptability. From Brook Lopez's transformation into a stretch 5, to Giannis Antetokounmpo's unique blend of athleticism and power, to Victor Wembanyama's unprecedented skill set, these players defy traditional molds. Their ability to impact the game in multiple facets, scoring, rebounding, passing, and defending, makes them invaluable. As 538 often illustrates with their player metrics, a broad statistical profile across these categories correlates strongly with team success, highlighting their multifaceted contributions. No ranking is without its debates, and the assessment of pivot players is no exception. For instance, while Nikola Jokic's offensive brilliance is universally recognized, his defensive effort is a frequent topic of discussion among analysts on ESPN's The Jump. Similarly, Joel Embiid's dominant regular season play often contrasts with scrutiny over his playoff consistency and injury history. These discrepancies highlight the complex balance between individual talent, durability, and performance in critical moments when evaluating a player's true pivot status. The trajectory of players like Victor Wembanyama suggests the future of the pivot player is one of continued evolution towards unprecedented versatility. The traditional big man is increasingly asked to do everything, from initiating offense to guarding the perimeter. This trend, as forecasted by scouting reports from Draft Express, will likely see more players emerge who blur positional lines, prioritizing skill over strict size, making the pivot concept even more dynamic. The NBA will continue to demand adaptable, high IQ players who can execute complex systems. In conclusion, the pivot player is more than just a position, it's a strategic designation reflecting fundamental shifts in NBA basketball. From Nikola Jokic's revolutionary playmaking to Joel Embiid's scoring prowess and Giannis Antetokounmpo's all-around dominance, these athletes redefine what it means to be central to a team's success. Their contributions extend beyond the stat sheet, influencing every aspect of strategy, forcing opponents to adapt, and ultimately shaping the league's competitive landscape. The evidence suggests their impact is profound and continues to grow. The landscape of NBA pivot players is constantly evolving, driven by extraordinary talent and innovative strategies. We've presented a data-driven, investigative look at the players currently defining this critical role. But who do you think is the most impactful pivot player in the NBA right now? Do you agree with our analysis, or do you believe certain players are undervalued or overvalued? Share your thoughts and perspectives in the comments below. Your engagement helps us continue to explore these fascinating topics with rigor and precision.